Welcome to the Generational Wealth Podcast. Guys, today we're going to talk about how to prepare for a market crash. All the stories are in the news. Stocks are going down, and I want to show you guys how to be prepared. Guys, now's not sleepy time. I know it's late. I know y'all are wondering, why is he doing this broadcast right now? But I'm trying to put you guys on to what is to come. So make sure that y'all tap in with me tonight, y'all. It's going to be a special broadcast. I'm going to show you guys why most people don't start focusing on their money until it's too late. See, most people, guys, they wait until the crash is already here. They wait until everybody is already crying broke. Everybody's losing their job. People are getting fired left and right. Now they want to get help with their finances. But on the Generational Wealth Podcast, I show you guys how to get ahead of the game. So tonight, I'm going to give you guys 5 different ways to protect yourself during an economic recession. I'm going to show you guys exactly what to do to prepare yourself and your family for a market crash to come. Now, y'all know before we get into this thing, man, I got to give my shout outs. I first want to start out by getting a shout out to everybody who's been checking out my free webinar. Real quick round of applause for everybody who's checked out my free masterclass on the 3 keys to financial freedom. Guys, if you have not yet checked this out, you got to do it. It's totally free. But this is going to show you guys how to start making passive income. That's right. It's time for you to stop being in this 9-to-5 rut where you're always trading time for money. I'm trying to show you guys how to add new income streams to your portfolio. So if you're tired of making fixed income and you want to start making additional streams, make sure that you guys join that webinar, because that is my best program to help you guys create generational wealth. So I'm going to put the link below for you guys to be able to check that out. Shout out to everybody who's already on that webinar. It's a free masterclass. Make sure that you check it out. The 3 keys to financial freedom. Shout out to Sister Pacloria. I see you on, sis. Shout out to you. Yes, sis. I'm trying this whole new thing out. You know, we got a new name, the Generational Wealth Podcast, and I'm really trying to put a lot of the content there. Y'all know I was doing all kinds of content. 1 minute talking about finances, another minute talking about business. We talked about some stuff regarding relationships, and we're still going to touch on a lot of important topics, guys, but everything is going to be centered around generational wealth, helping you really make more money so that you can get out of debt and finally start to enjoy financial freedom. So if you guys have not yet checked out that webinar, make sure that you do so, okay? I'm going to put the link in the comments below. Shout out to everybody who says that they like the new show name. Shout out to Michelle. Thank you so much for all of the support. For those of y'all are on, make sure that y'all smash that like button, okay? If y'all are liking the new channel name, if y'all are liking what this channel is about, please make sure that y'all smash that like button, because I want to share with you guys some of these things that I want to just change the game. I want to make one of the biggest shows on YouTube surrounding generational wealth, all to help you boss up and finally reach your goals. So guys, I need y'all support. I need y'all sponsorship. Make sure that you smash that like button below, and make sure that you share this broadcast with a friend, okay? Now, I just put the link for y'all to be able to get into that free webinar I was telling you guys about. Make sure that y'all check that out, okay? For any of you guys who want to check out my free masterclass on the 3 keys to financial freedom, make sure that you guys check that out, because I'm showing you guys in that webinar how to stop only having one stream of income. The average millionaire has 7 different streams. I'm showing you guys how to start creating automated streams of money, not just where you're constantly trading time for money, having to work, but you finally putting yourself in a position where you have money coming in on a regular basis, even without you having to do any work at all. Guys, that's my favorite way to create money. Okay. Some of you guys know I own over $1 million worth of real estate. And some of my favorite income is the money that I get through my real estate investing. I want to show you guys how you can make money online, how you can make money through real estate, how you can make money in so many different ways without you working yourself into the ground. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shout out to my guy, TK Kitchen, man. This brother has definitely been incredible. We had an amazing session last week. Definitely appreciated being able to spend that time with you, King. Thank you so much for all the support and the sponsorship. For those of y'all that are on tonight, we're talking about how to prepare for a market crash. And as you can see, TK is starting us off on the right note. So thank you so much, King, for that $50 super chat. Definitely appreciate the donation. Make sure that y'all donate, y'all. Whoever gives the highest sponsorship on tonight's broadcast will be the official sponsor of the show. And as y'all can see, TK, he's starting us off right. So let's see what else is in store. Now, since we're talking about our sponsors, right? I want to give a big shout out to all of the sponsors that always keep this broadcast going. I want to give a big shout out to my brother Yasha Allah. I want to give a big shout out to my sis LA for life, my brother that's always supporting me since day one, my brother Juice. Shout out to my sis Ariel. I want to make sure that all of you guys know about the top sponsors to the Generational Wealth podcast. And if you want that to be you, here's how to become a sponsor. If you want to be able to sponsor this show so you can keep it on air, all you got to do is tap the dollar icon directly below. Okay. As soon as you donate, that will make you an official sponsor. Also, if you guys want to donate through Cash App or PayPal, feel free to do so. Man, I got to put the ticker back on here again, man. Y'all watching, I'm slipping over here. I'm so busy just trying to get this show off the ground, guys, with this new style. I got to put my ticker back. For those of y'all that want to be able to support the broadcast, make sure that y'all check out the information that's on the screen. The links are in the description below. Okay, I got to now start adding some Generational Wealth podcast info on here. The show keeps growing, y'all. Listen, when we first started this thing off, man, we were talking about everything under the sun. I did not know what you guys wanted to hear. But now, as we've been doing these shows over the months, I'm seeing that you guys want a lot more content on how to make more money. I've been doing these polls. Y'all have been telling me that y'all are looking to get out of debt. Y'all are telling me about how you want to spend 2022 focused on investing and creating new streams of income. And that's the reason why we now have this Generational Wealth podcast just for you. Okay. So if you guys want to be able to keep this show on air, make sure that you become a sponsor. Even if you're watching this broadcast after the live stream is over, all you got to do is click the links in the description below. That will let you donate whenever you can. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit more about this whole making money thing, guys, because one of the things that I want to get back to on this show is promoting business owners. A lot of y'all know that I always allow business owners to promote their content on my platform. So if you guys want to promote your business so you can start making money through an additional stream, then feel free to cam up. I'm going to put up the link a little bit later on this broadcast, guys. I really am trying to help you guys get to the next level. Okay. So Why should you prepare for a market crash? Why shouldn't you just be chilling right now? Why would you even watch something like this? Why would you take the time to get on late at night to figure out how to protect your money? Because you don't want to be on the street like everybody else. Y'all done seen how many people have been a victim to all the jobs that was lost over the past 2 years, all of the inflation that is going on. I'm trying to share with you guys how you can be prepared for the year to come. Y'all know I've been telling you guys a lot about market crashes on the way. And so the reason why I'm still talking about this, guys, is because inflation is still on the rise. Inflation is still getting higher by the minute. And one of the things that you guys got to know how to do whenever inflation comes is to make sure that you're earning more money to outpace the cost of living. If you got gas in your city going up to $5 a gallon, you need to know how to make more money. If you can't even buy a bag of groceries without taking out a credit card because you don't have the cash, you need to make sure that you watch this broadcast. I'm showing y'all tonight how to make sure that you prepare for a market crash. Because one of the things that I want to show you guys is that studies show that the economy is expected to slow down this year, guys. The World Bank warns that the pandemic will slow economic growth down in 2022. Look at this. See, most people don't even know that this is going on. It says global growth is expected to slow to 4.1% this year from 5.5% in 2021. A projection underscores the stubborn nature of the public health crisis. Guys, what this is saying is that with everything that we've been seeing going on in the world, things are going to start to slow down. I'm going to do another broadcast this week, hopefully. Y'all just bear with me. I'm going to tell you guys about how the Fed is going to be raising interest rates starting next month and how that's going to affect you as a borrower. Everything is starting to slow down in the economy, and most people don't see it. Notice this. It says global growth is expected to slow down to 4.1% this year from 5.5% in 2021, according to the World Bank. Now, guys, the World Bank is tracking everybody's money. The World Bank is watching everybody's pocket. The World Bank is watching the world evolve and change. It says output is expected to be weaker and inflation is likely to be hotter than previously thought. So, guys, y'all thought all inflation was just happening last year. Nope. Y'all thought all the inflation was happening in 2021. Inflation is still growing. And until we figure out how to get a handle on this, guys, we are always going to be the first ones in danger whenever the economy takes a hit. That's the reason why I'm going over this in this broadcast. I'm going to show you guys how you can protect yourself and your families from the crash to come, because now is the time. While it's still early in 2022, it's not too late to make sure that your money is protected. So that way, before the end of the year is up, you guys are out on the right side of this path. Okay. So let's talk about this. How can you protect yourself from the next economic crash? The first thing that you need to do is monitor your spending. How many of you guys are budgeting your money? Let's be honest, y'all. Don't start getting quiet now just because I'm starting to put you on the hot seat. How many of you guys are budgeting your money every single day. How many of you guys know where your hard-earned money is going? You know, you might be working at a job right now and you might be getting a paycheck on the 1st and the 15th. But how many times do you get paid and then as soon as the week passes by, you have no idea where your money is going?
Nope.
You're trying to figure out, damn, man, I just got paid. I went to the grocery store. I went and bought me some food. Now I feel like I don't have no money in the bank. Where is all of my money going? The first thing that you need to prepare for a market crash is to start monitoring your money. Okay. Now is the time to make sure that you see where all of your budget is going for the month. And that's the reason why I did this broadcast today, guys. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all this show, I'm going to start trying to do it a little bit earlier in the day, guys. Okay. I got a lot going on behind the scenes. I wanted to get this show out today because I promised y'all I would be back on here. But I'm going to start getting on these broadcasts early because this is the first day of the month. That means this is the first day that you should be having a budget in place for the month of February. You need to already know where your money is going before the month begins. You need to know how much money you're spending on groceries, how much money you're supposed to be spending on transportation. You need to know how much money you're spending on your bills. Now is the time to make sure that you have your money organized. Guys, if you do not have an idea of where your money is going, when the crash comes, it's going to hit you hard. The people who are going to be able to escape are going to be the ones who have their money already organized and cleaned up. So that way, when the crash comes, they've already cut their spending. This is the reason why you got to manage your money in the first place. Because if you don't start cutting your spending and you don't know what things you're spending money on that's essential, what things you're just spending money on just for the hell of it, if you guys have no idea where your money is going, how are you going to ensure that you're going to have enough money to survive? Some of you guys right now might be spending beyond your means and you don't even know it. Some of you guys might be right at your limit right now. But if you don't know how much money you have to work with, well, if inflation goes up by another 2%, how will you know whether or not you can afford it? How will you know whether or not you need to take out another job? If you need to get a side hustle going, some of you guys are going to be thinking about taking out a loan. You need to start figuring out this today. Okay. So start finding out right now how much of your money is going towards bills. How much money is going towards just play money, okay? Eating out, buying clothes, random shopping. That's what you need to figure out today. Okay. And the next thing that you need to do once you figure out exactly where your money is going is start to complete your emergency fund. Now is the time to make sure that you have 3 to 6 months worth of emergency expenses saved up so that you can protect yourself in the event that you lose your job for the next 3 months. Guys, I'm trying to show you how people survive hard seasons. Do y'all ever notice how whenever a recession pops off, there's some people that always get hit the hardest, and there's some people that's never affected at all? This is the reason why they have a saying: the rich get richer and the poor gets poorer. Why does the poor get poorer? Is it because poor people are stupid?
Nope.
Is it because poor people aren't hardworking?
Nope.
It's because a lot of people don't know what's going on with their money. They don't know what's going on in the market. They don't know how to stop their money from being impacted during a crash. And that's the reason why, guys, if you're on this channel, you know it's not enough to just work hard. It's not enough to just make money. You have to understand how to preserve the money once you get it. And that's the reason why you have to have that emergency fund in place. You have to make sure that you have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses saved up. So that way, if for whatever reason you couldn't work, you would be able to live off of all of the money that's in your savings account. Now, guys, this savings account that you have doesn't need to make you a lot of money.
Nope.
It doesn't need to be an account that has 5% interest rate. It just needs to be an account that you can quickly touch. This is not supposed to be a form of investing. You're going to have other accounts for that. This is just going to be a quick relief fund if you fall on hard times. In the event that you fall on hard times, guys, you're going to need this account ready. Okay. Don't wait for the emergency to come. Then you start trying to build up this account. No, you want to already have it prepared. So, right now, with your local bank, all you need is your checking account and your savings. Your checking account will handle your day-to-day expenses. Your savings account can cover your emergency fund. But let's say that you spend $5,000 per month on your bills. If you spend $5,000 a month on all of your expenses, then that means that you really need to have a minimum of $15,000 in your savings account. How many of us right now have $15,000 sitting in the bank? Not many.
Nope.
But what happens if you lose your job? You're not able to work. What happens if a market crash comes and some businesses go under? Guys, the average American is not prepared to provide for their family if they go one paycheck missing. If the average American goes without 1 month's worth of pay, they would be homeless and on the street. And you need to have enough money to protect your household. Okay. Sis Pecloria says, I know where my money is going. I just need more of it. Oh, yeah, Pecloria. We're going to talk about that too. We are going to talk about that also, because it's not enough to just save. Because at the end of the day, you can only save but so much. You also have to start generating more income. So once you get done building your emergency fund, the next step is going to be for you guys to learn how to raise your income. Maybe that's going to be by you creating another income stream. Maybe that's going to be by you guys learning new skill sets. Okay. I'm learning new skills right now, guys, that's going to raise my income level. I always tell you guys, I have different income streams, whether it's in my business, whether it's in my show, whether it's in real estate. I have different ways to make money. And the reason why that matters is because during an economic crash, if you end up losing one stream of income because that market went under, you want to make sure that you have money coming in from other places. And you want to start building up those streams so strong, guys, that one income stream can sustain your family. Okay. How nice would it be if you had multiple streams of income? But even if you ended up losing a stream or two, you still have one income stream that's able to cover all the bills. It's able to provide for your family. It's able to keep some emergency savings stashed away for a rainy day. That's the kind of protection that you need, guys. Okay. So now is the time to start figuring out what is going to be the plan to make more money. Are you going to make more money by getting a better job? There's a lot of opportunities right now, all because of this great resignation, all because of the fact that there was so many people that quit their jobs back in 2021. There's a lot of job openings that are available. There's certain opportunities that might be on the market today that may not be available tomorrow, guys. So figure out, how are you going to raise your income? Is it going to be you starting your own business? Are you going to be picking up some new side hustles? Are you going to start getting out into this gig economy? You got a lot of people doing things like Lyft, DoorDash, Uber. What is it that you're going to do to make more money? Because at the end of the day, guys, we all got 7% poorer over the past year. Remember what happened with inflation?
Nope.
This past year, inflation went up by 7%, guys. Listen, your buying power got 7% weaker. So even if you felt like, man, I'm making good money, I just got a raise, you could have gotten a 5% raise last year and the economy still made more than you.
Nope.
It still outpaced you. It still got more expensive. And that's the reason why we have to make more money, not just to be able to show off and get flashy, guys. That's not what this is about. Is for you guys to be able to keep a roof over your head. Everything is getting more expensive, and you got to make sure that you have a way of staying afloat. Tell me what some of your plans are to make sure that you're making more money. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Blatino28. I see all of y'all on. Tonight, we're talking about how to prepare for a market crash. One of the best things that you guys need to do to prepare for a market crash is to have some money set aside for a rainy day. But you don't just need to have money set aside, you also need to be making more money. Okay. So if you're going to build new skills, if you're going to learn a new trade or a new craft, you need to figure out how you're going to be able to make additional income. Otherwise, as inflation gets higher and higher, your buying power is going to get lower and lower. Might not be able to buy all of those clothes that you want from the store anymore. Might not be able to buy all those groceries that you thought you could afford.
Nope.
It's getting harder and harder for the average person to afford their cost of living. Now, what would a broadcast be on creating generational wealth, guys, if I did not talk about getting out of debt? You've got to get out of debt as quickly as you can, because if you're not paying off all this high interest debt, when a market crash comes, that could be the thing that makes or breaks your portfolio. Listen, guys, a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck right now, even without the market crashing. So could you imagine what it would look like if things got more expensive, investments started going under, jobs started to get closed and shut down? If these things started to happen, are you prepared? If you had to go 1 to 2 months trying to look for another job, do you have enough money to hold you over? Or are you going to be looking for the government to bail you out? Are you going to be hoping that unemployment saves the day? Some of y'all might be trying to get into these PPP loan scams, and I'm going to talk about that soon too. Are you going to be like the next celebrity that's out here about to do time behind bars because you done took money from the government and you done put it in places that you weren't supposed to? Listen, guys, all of that is backfiring on people now. People is borrowing all this money. People is getting into all this debt, but there's no exit plan on how to get themselves out of the hole whenever the market crashes. You guys got to be thinking 5, 10, 15 steps ahead, guys. Listen, this is what separates wealthy people from everyone else. Wealthy people, they're always thinking into the future. People that have generational wealth are always making decisions for the next 5, 10 to 15 years. Now, most of us, we're only making decisions for today.
Nope.
We're only thinking about, what do I need now? What's bothering me this very minute? We always think about instant gratification. But if we want to level up and if we want to create real wealth, we constantly have to be thinking about the future. So even if you don't feel like a market crash is coming today, you got to be prepared for what's going to happen tomorrow. That's the reason why you need to get out of debt. This is the reason why you need to get rid of all of those high interest accounts where if you're not able to make more money, you're able to save more money because you got the debts out of the way. Now is the time to get debt free. And guys, whenever I do this upcoming broadcast about how the Fed is planning on raising their interest rates, I'm going to be telling you guys all about why it's so important to make sure that you don't take out any additional loans. When those interest rates goes up, everything is going to get more expensive. If you try to buy a house, it's going to be more expensive. You try to take out a credit card, more expensive. The time for you to make your purchases, if you're going to do it, is now. Okay, is today, guys. But for you guys that already have a lot of debt on your plate, now is the time to get rid of it. And guess what else? If you want to make sure that you protect your family during a market crash, you got to make sure that you are still investing. I know you might be saying, but Uzziah, why would I invest all of my money and it's going to get lost in the stock market? What type of advice is this? What dummy would say to put all of their money into the stock market when the freaking broadcast is about how the stock market is going under? Yes, you need to put money into the markets, even when it's going down, because you want to be the one to benefit when it climbs back up again. You should not invest your money first without first getting your budget down, without first having your emergency fund stacked up. You need to make sure that you have all of these other things taken care of before you get back out into the investing markets. But if you are out of debt and you already have emergency savings saved up, you need to start putting some of your money into the investment markets, because once the investing markets gets back up, you're going to get a solid return on your investments. Guys, one of the best ways to prepare for a market crash is having a lot of money. Okay. You need to have money set aside in savings. You need to have money set aside for times like this, where all of the stocks are getting low. Because if all of the stocks are getting low, that means that this is the best time for you to be able to buy. This is going to be the best time for you to be able to buy high-end stocks that you might not have been able to afford any other time in the market. This is the time where people get rich. So if you're trying to create generational wealth so you can pass down assets on to future generations, you need to start positioning yourself to strike right now when everybody else is in panic. See, our job as part of the Generational Wealth Podcast is to do the opposite of what everybody else is doing. Because if everybody else is growing broke, now is the time for us to build wealth, so that way our family can know what it takes to get rich. Guys, the people that build the wealth, They build it during the down times, not during the times where the entire economy is booming. When everybody is selling, they're buying. When everybody else is buying, they're selling. And you got to make sure that you have enough money set aside so during these times of recessions, crashes, economic depressions, you have enough money to go in even when it seems scary and very risky, because that's how your money can really take off. If you are too afraid to invest during these times, you got to ask yourself if you're really ready to create generational wealth. You know, if generational wealth was easy, guys, everybody would have it. You got to be ready to make decisions that other people are not willing to make. But that's the reason why you got to focus on raising your income now. And another thing, when we talk about investing, guys, and this is big, okay? This is big. This is big. This is big. Oh, shout out to my brother Wealth Engineering. Let's give my brother Wealth Engineering a round of applause. Yeah, man. I had to change my name, man. I had to change my name because every time I got on with another content creator, nobody could say my show. You know, I saw the show that you did with Suzette, and it was an excellent broadcast. For those of y'all that have yet to check out my brother, man, make sure that you go and check out his channel, Wealth Engineering. Make sure that you subscribe and smash that like button. He has a phenomenal broadcast. Every time I get on with these content creators, none of them can say my name. Like, I've been on the PEEF network, I'd have been on TLA, I'd have got with my brother Wealth Engineering, I'd have been with all these different content creators, even Pocket Watching with JT, and none of these guys could say my name, man. I said, damn, if nobody can say my name, why am I putting this on the channel title? I'm gonna just make it easy, something that everybody talks about. I'm gonna say the Generational Wealth Podcast, so that way y'all are already knowing exactly how to be able to say it. Okay. Aaron B says, what's your name? I bet I can say it. Uzziah. Uzziah. Okay. I had to just make it something simple and plain, y'all. I had to make it something simple, and I had to make it something real plain. Let me see. Got a comment that says, I'm waiting for the crash to load up on stocks like in March 2020. Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. You also said interest rates rise. Should we save more? Well, you definitely want to make sure that you have that emergency fund in place now. Okay, make sure that you have that 3 to 6 months saved up. And some of you guys are in industries where you might feel like you need to have more than 3 to 6 months saved up. The reason why I keep stressing this is because the average American doesn't have $1,000 in their savings account.
Nope.
Most people don't have enough money to bail them out of a minor emergency, much less a big one. So, guys, if you want to know how to prepare for a major market crash, I'm giving you guys the steps. Yeah, Wealth Engineering. No, it's not just you, man. I just had to get myself to a point where I said to hell with it, man. I just had to go ahead and change the title, make it something very easy, but something very foundational for everybody. So that way they could just take it and run with it. So shout out to the Generational Wealth Podcast, y'all. We in the building. Aaron B said it's pronounced like Isaiah, like in the Bible, just spelled differently. Yes, Uzziah is a biblical name, just like Isaiah is. Okay. So now let's talk about how to protect yourself from a market crash. When you guys start investing, you need to make sure that your investment portfolio is diversified. Because what happens if you invest into something and that market goes under too?
Nope.
So what happens if you say, okay, I'm going to invest? I hear what Uzziah is saying. I'm going to invest in cryptocurrency, and now cryptocurrency is at a rock bottom. You're not going to get on this broadcast cussing me out because I already told y'all, invest in different things. I always talk about the importance of investing in stocks, bonds, crypto, real estate, gold, business. The list goes on. The reason why I invest in all of these different things, guys, is so that if one thing goes under, I'm still making money from other places. If you guys got all of your money locked into one thing, you're in for a rude awakening. You guys are in for a big risk. And don't say I didn't warn you. If that one area goes under and you're like, oh, but man, I should have had my money in this and I should have had my money in that. Listen, the housing crash has happened. The stock market crash has happened. We have seen all kinds of industries bubble and crash over the years, guys. So you got to make sure that you not only invest your money, but that you start to diversify your assets. By you having your money in different places, that makes sure that you have protection for years to come. Okay. And last but not least, guys, last but not least, okay, y'all got to make sure that you got some insurance behind you. If you don't have no insurance, during a market crash, oh man, you are going to be hurting. You're going to be hurting. Make sure that you have some insurance, okay? The whole reason why people get insurance, all kinds of insurance, is to make sure that you have protection in the event of an emergency. This is the reason why people have life insurance, okay? You got to make sure that you're protected on all fronts, guys, okay? Some of you guys right now may not have health insurance. And what happens if you find yourself in a situation where you lose one job and before you get another job, you end up getting yourself injured to the point where you got to go to the hospital? How are you going to be able to pay the hospital bill without health insurance? You guys got to make sure that you have your insurances lined up, whether it be health, auto, life. Some of you guys, y'all might be a little bit older. You may need some kind of long-term protection plan. You guys got to make sure that you have policies to protect you if you fall on hard times, okay? The market crash is coming. And if you're not prepared, it can sweep you guys away, okay? So these are all the major points that you need to have to prepare yourself for a market crash. I'm going to open up the link right now for you guys to join the panel. I see my brother Wealth Engineering is on. I don't know if you want to cam up. But right now, I'm going to open up the panel so we can have a conversation, y'all. Let me know what y'all think about tonight's broadcast. And as always, if y'all love this broadcast and you want to support this show, please make sure that you tap that like button, because that'll go a very long way towards telling YouTube to send this message out to more people. Okay. Let me see. Who's going to be on tonight's panel, y'all? We're going to have a panel discussion tonight. Do y'all just want to hear me talk all night? Or do y'all want to see people on the panel chiming in? Okay. Wealth Engineering says, any advice on insurance that you can get to protect yourself from the market? Well, I'm definitely a big proponent, as always, on life insurance. And the reason why I'm mentioning that as you bring up this question is because a lot of people, they only have life insurance through their 9-to-5 jobs. And if you lose your 9-to-5 job, then you lose your life insurance to protect you and your family. Make sure that you have a life insurance policy that's with a third party outside of a job. Okay. Um, One of the best forms of insurance, like I said before, is to make sure that you guys have your emergency fund in place. You need to make sure that you're insuring yourself and getting protected. Uh, in terms of any other forms of insurance based upon what's happening in the market, I don't think that there is anything that I would say that you guys really need. You need to make sure that you have your money diversified, which is insurance enough. Like if you guys have money, stocks, bonds, a little bit of money in gold, you need to make sure that you have money allocated in different areas because that's going to give you enough protection itself to stop all of your money from being lost if the market takes a hit. Okay, so those are my thoughts on that, but I'm open to hearing other feedback. My brother Wealth Engineering is on. How you doing tonight, King?
Very good, very good. You?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks so much for supporting the broadcast. What you think about the new channel name, man?
Aye, man, I love it. I love it. The Generational Wealth Podcast.
Shout
It's
out to my
perfect.
brother, man. See, that's it's a lot smoother that ways. So you feel a
Yeah,
lot more confident with it. You feel a lot more comfortable. You're not having to wonder, oh, what is his name? Is it Isaiah, Uzziah?
yeah. I'll practice it. I promise. I promise. I'll practice it and say it right. But for now, what I got it was Uzziah. Was that
Yes,
close
sir.
enough?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well done. Well done. Well
All right,
done.
all right. I'll keep practicing it. But thank you, thank you. But yeah, man, with a great channel name. Because at the end of the day, it gets people to focus on the main goal, right?
Yes, sir.
The main goal. It's something that hey, at some point, at any point you are in your life, you it's going to remind you, hey, I gotta keep going for that main goal right here. So it could attract a large audience right here, and whether you are from the beginner or somewhere like actually even retire, you still want to focus on that generational wealth. So congrats on the name. I'm happy it wasn't taken like by someone else. You got it in. It's perfect for what you do.
Awesome. Thank you, my brother. So, hey, man, quick question for you. What are you thinking about tonight's broadcast?
So I joined in a little bit late, but I like those topics. Again, anything that has to do with building wealth, getting people to be financially educated, I support as much as I can. And yeah, what I like about it is because hey, not that long ago we had panics in the streets, right? Many people were reacting based on fears. I was actually criticizing one of the YouTubers who was like over 1 million subscribers, selling 20 million based on fear. He even tried to rationalize his emotion, but
All right.
it was not the right time to sell $20 million portfolio. Like maybe not in crypto, but in stocks you might have a point, but based on fear alone, no, because now he's looking to go back in, and he didn't get the timing right. It's like that's what happens like when you act on emotions. And what happens is it's exciting when you see that number goes up every day on your portfolio, but when it
Yeah.
goes down, if you have your attachment, your emotion attached to that, it's human nature to have a reaction, right? And especially if you take a lot of risk that you're not willing to live up with the consequences. Like some people, they put their savings, like their last month saving, into the market and hoping that it would multiply. That's a desperate ad. Again, more emotion. What I think about is emotion is a money killer. I always say that, and it really you really have to. And that's why, as much as people hear those podcasts, you gotta do the work as well. Because something like that, it's only by doing the work that you can really learn the skills on how to remove your emotion from your portfolio and be purely rational and logical about it. And more importantly, stay disciplined. The steps to wealth are actually very simple, but it requires a lot of discipline. And
Right.
what's going to be hard for you is mastering those emotions so that you can stay in the course to that goal. And that's what happens, right? It's simple course, you stayed in it, but your emotion is gonna want you to say, hey, bite that apple, right? And do
Mhm.
do that reaction. And that's where most people fail, because they have not learned the skill of mastering the emotion, detaching themselves from their portfolio, build the perfect the make sure you have your savings first, 3 to 6 months, just like you were mentioning earlier, your emergency saving. That's how you build the foundation to even sustain the market crash, right?
Yeah.
When you save for 6 months, then you're not too worried about that portfolio dropping because at least you covered for the next 6 months, right?
Right.
So that's a very important steps in building the foundation of your journey to generational wealth.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, man. And one of the things that I think that you said was just so incredible is how people get their emotions caught up into finances. Like, when you were talking about the guy that took out that 20 mil in investments, and boy, wouldn't many of us like to have 20 million to throw around, right? Just to be able to make a decision like that. Um, man, I can't even imagine how much he lost in taxes, bro. Like, to be able to take all of that money out, I mean, you're going to be subject to all kind of taxes, potential penalties, just
The
moving the money
fees,
around.
the fees, right?
Yeah, like you get hit with so many losses right there. And I think, the reason why I constantly stress the discussion about the market crash now is because I'm trying to make it an easy transition for people once it happens. Because, see, what we understand is people are very short-sighted, right? We oftentimes think about instant gratification. So people will wait for the market crash to happen, and then they'll make all of these bad decisions because they're coming out of panic and fear, right? Oh my God, I got to do this now. It's happening right now. It's right now.
Nope.
Mm.
But it's like, no, it's like, okay, start preparing for it today. So that way, by the time that it happens, you're already ready for it. You already got your money set aside and saved up. You've already gotten different income streams in place to where even if something does happen and you're not that impacted, you have a lot more peace of mind, if for nothing else. A big part of finances is just peace of mind. Just being able to go to sleep at night and knowing, hey, I know that me and my family are protected and we're secure. So, what do you think, man? Do you think that with the way that people manage their money, do you think that a lot of times people are not going to really like take the crash serious until it's too late? Or do you think that it's going to be at a point where people would start to try to plan more ahead, in hopes of a rainy day to come?
Well, what the thing is, that's the problem with what's going on right now, especially for millennials. I like to focus a lot on millennials. I understand their thought process very well. It's they're going through a lot of like paycheck to paycheck, right? Whether it's Canada, whether it's United States, this is a common thing where they're going. So that lifestyle forces them in a way to think short-sighted, right? So even though the little budget they have, try to save it. And I was in there. That's why I understand it so well, because I was in the exact same situation. What
Right.
happened is you try to have a saving, then an emergency happened, right? Your emergency happened, and basically it took you a while. It might took you 3, 4, or 5 months because you were not really saving aggressively. You were just saving it, try to get yourself to do it, and then an emergency happened, and it's all gone. So that's what I now I when I started my journey, I had to rethink of everything I was doing and think of all that, understand where I came from, the life, the paycheck to paycheck, and understand that, hey, this is a problem that's stopping me from achieving my goal, but it needs a drastic correction on the other side. And I had to aggressively save to the point where I cut down my expenses, and I also managed to find 50% of my monthly income to my saving and investment portfolio. So
Hmm.
that's how I broke through. I did that for at least 3 months. Then I slow it down, to give myself some breathing room. And then I was able to save my emergency cash. And what I was doing is, that's for me, right? That's what I teach. I teach everyone to build a system that works based on your own personality. Me,
Right.
I'm very comfortable with risk. At the time, I had a good job that I could rely on. So what I did is once I reached the 3 months, I was actually putting that into safe investments, while the fourth month four, month five, month six, I was also putting that on my saving account.
Yeah.
So by the time I got to month six, I had basically 6 months worth of income of savings that could cover all my expenses for 6 months. Three of them were not, I wasn't touching it at all. And the other 3 months, I was actually putting it into safer positions. And when I got to that point, I had already developed the discipline to be able to save. So I just maintained the same thing and then put that into a little bit more risky investments, but higher the risk, higher the rewards. And sometimes they would drop 20% in 2 days, right? But why was I able to withstand that market crash? It's
Yeah.
because my 3 months monthly cash is good. I'm increasing my skills so that my jobs is also paying me more. I'm doing side hustle to increase my income. And then my investment, I know on the long term is going to pay off. So basically, I actually buy more. And when I see a market dip, so now when it goes back up, it backs up way faster than it was the first time. And when you see that happen just once in your portfolio, it changes your perception about investing. It drives you a lot more, but just to
Right.
get to that mental block, it requires so many steps and discipline to stay that. But that's me. My goal is get people to see the effect of discipline, get leading to saving, leading to multiplying your portfolio just a bit, just like 10-20% more. And
Yeah.
once you see that, it's like you hooked, and then you want to do it on your own to get your generational wealth. So that's where I focus a lot of my energy. But going back to your questions, is yeah, it a lot of people, it's going to take them a drastic change to get to
Mm-hmm.
the right step. And that's where you're going to lose a lot of people, because a lot of people are not willing to make that
Right.
change, although they know it's so simple, but it's not easy for them to do it.
And you know one thing that you said right there, man, the drastic change that you're talking about, that's not going to hit a lot of people until they end up falling on real hard times. Like, it's just a thing of human nature that most people aren't likely to change until they've experienced something so traumatic to where it's like, damn, I got to get my life together. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's not like until you lose it all. You know what I mean? And I've been through that before. I've been homeless in the past, and that was the one event that said, you know what? I'm never going to experience this in my life again. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make sure that I am never in this situation again. I think that for a lot of people, they find ways to get comfortable. And when you find yourself in that space, when you're comfortable, there's not enough to drive you to actually get to the next level. You know what I mean? So it's like either you need to already be pushing there or you need to be on a level where you smack your head against the ground so hard that it actually inspires you to do better. But I think for a lot of people, man, unfortunately, it won't be until the crash really comes. People take losses that they're like, damn, I really need to start, learning how to manage my money, because at the end of the day, like you said, it's a lifestyle. A lot of people, they think in their mind, oh, well, as long as I make more money, then I'll be all good. But no, celebrities and athletes, they go broke all the time making
Absolutely.
multi-million dollar salaries. And so absolutely, bro, you always say the right things, man. I appreciate the support as always.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. One more thing I wanted to add before I drop off is you again. You nailed it. You nailed it. Uh, Actually, what I was working on is a thumbnail for my stream, right? And you probably heard the news about Elon Musk working on the Optimus robot,
Yes.
and how he's targeting. He even said that on the investor call, right? He's targeting the labor market. Now,
Hmm.
other than like, the labor market is one of the biggest market in the world. Why? Because a lot of you have human beings who need income to work in labor, right?
Right.
And he's targeting the labor market with his
Right.
new project. So what does that mean? He's competing now with human labor. and
Mm.
and and I know people, everyone knows at some point the future is going to happen, everyone knows that, but people don't necessarily they say they know, but they don't actually factor it in, the impact of a technology like that should it start deploying very fast. I'm actually going to make a lot of videos on market research data that are confirming this, the expansion of artificial intelligence, robot, and all that. They don't mention exactly on how it's going to affect the labor, but I think it was key to understand that even Elon Musk announced it last week, basically, that is going to target the labor market. And
Mm.
me, I was in a situation too that yes, I did had a good job, but guess what? I was laid off, and I was laid off again, right? And every time I
Mhm.
was laid off, I actually got into a depression phase where I'm like, I don't understand. Like it, I spent so long to study to get my bachelor, and then I can't keep up on my job. So
Yeah.
because I had gone through that, I had to be, I had the urgency I had the urgency to do something to change my situation, which is why it was easier for me to make that drastic change, because it was a priority. It was the priority. It was an urgency. The
Right.
reason why I'm saying that is because I got a taste of what innovation could do. The reason
Mm.
why I was losing my job, it wasn't necessarily because of innovation, but it was still a situation where the market was shifting below my feet, and I couldn't hold on that job that I worked so hard to hold on. It's the same thing that's happening now, and it's going to happen on a massive scale where, hey, we're going to have AI, we're going to have robotics in the next 10, 15 years
Right.
launching on the market. So, and it takes a long time to learn those skills, right? To start building the momentum, it takes you long enough. And this is why I'm sounding the alarm. I'm saying it is because it has become an urgency to work in your generational wealth. Why? Because if you don't do it, if you don't have the investments to buy the robot, then the robot is gonna replace you. That's the
Yeah.
way I see it. It's an urgency, and just like it was for me, an urgency to change my situation, so that now I'm in a situation to invest in innovation and own that robot, right? So
Right.
that robot is going to work for me to make my wealth bigger, to increase my family's generational wealth. So that's the
Absolutely.
way you got to see it. You got to see it as eventually 15, 20 years, it could be less. That's the time frame you have. So what are you going to do right now to increase your situation so that you can live off of your investments as opposed to living off of universal basic income? They even have a term for it, right?
Yeah.
They even have a term for it. So now it's a matter of just manifesting it and waiting for it to happen. But just in case, I may be wrong, right? I may be wrong. I don't know the future, but just in case, it could only serve you good, because if I'm wrong, you still have that money for your family.
Absolutely.
And if I'm right, then at least you covered. But that's what I'm working on right now. I've been sounding the alarm before, but now it has really become an urgency to work for your financial independence and generation wealth, because of the innovation that are pumping out of Silicon Valley that could eventually replace your job.
Absolutely. Well, Ben, thank you for sounding the alarm on this broadcast, brother. It's always welcome over here. We got to set up a collaboration soon, man, an official one. I know that you've been on the broadcast over here a couple times now. I got to get over where you are, man, and show my face there, and
Hey, no
you,
worries, man. Let's
you
do
know,
one on generational wealth.
yeah, 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 yeah. Let's do it, man. Okay. I'm gonna put my email below. If you could reach out, or even in the back chat, shoot me your email.
Okay.
Shoot me your email, and we'll link up, man. For those of y'all who haven't seen this brother before, He's got a really powerful YouTube channel called Wealth Engineering. He has done some amazing broadcasts with a lot of movers and shakers on this YouTube space, man. So please make sure that y'all check out his channel. Make sure that you go and like and subscribe, man. We're definitely trying to empower the culture. Thank you as always, my brother. I did catch your email. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
reaching out to you very soon, and I'm looking forward to seeing how we can work together, man.
Yeah, I always have lots of topics to discuss then, so I'm sure we can work something out, and then yeah, I'll send you I'll send you an email right now. I have my email ready, so you continue with the show, continue with the great content, and then I'll take care of that for you.
Hey, awesome. Thank you, my brother. Looking forward to seeing you soon.
All right, bye.
All right now. So listen, y'all. I mean, heard it here first. One thing that I really love that wealth engineering talks about is planning for the future begins today. Like, even when he was talking about things that are going to be big in the next 5, 10 to 15 years, he's telling you guys, if you want to be a part of the growth, that means that you need to position yourself now. I think there's so many people who only think about, oh, okay, well, you know what? Whatever is coming in the next 5 to 10, 15 years, I'm going to just wait for it to get there and then I'm going to make an adjustment. No, by then it's too late. There are so many industries that are changing right now. And if you guys are not getting invested and you guys are not taking the time to put yourself in the market, how are you going to focus on creating generational wealth? Generation and wealth is all about you understanding what trends and what resources are going to elevate for years to come. And if you guys take the time to learn those high in demand skills and investment strategies now, is going to benefit you guys for years to come. Okay. So shout out to Aaron B. He said the generational wealth engineering collab coming soon. I like the sound of that. All right. Listen, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here, man. I know that I got y'all on here late tonight. I'm going to start trying to do these broadcasts earlier. Okay. I'm making some major changes to this broadcast. This is the reason why the channel title has changed. It is no longer the Uzziah Show. It is now the Generational Wealth Podcast. I got a lot of things in store for you guys. Okay. So just stay tuned for some of my upcoming shows. Make sure that you smash that like button. And as always, guys, if you love this broadcast and you want to see it continue to be on air, then please sponsor this channel. Your sponsorships will go a very long way towards keeping this channel going. I want to give a big shout out to my brother TK Kitchen. He said, wow, this is so very informative and spot on. I have a new perspective on investing and saving just by watching the show. Much love and respect to you guys. Hey, my brother, much love and respect to you, man. Definitely appreciate you for all of your support. And I definitely want to give you a shout out, man, for being the official sponsor of tonight's broadcast with that $50 sponsorship. Listen, y'all, for those of y'all that are watching, it's not too late to donate. All you got to do is tap that dollar icon that's directly below the live chat box. Or if you want to donate after watching this show, you could just click the links in the description below. You could donate through the Cash App. You could donate through the PayPal, guys. Your donations are greatly, greatly appreciated. Listen, y'all, stay tuned, man. Thank y'all so much for bearing with me as it took me some time to get back online. I know I hadn't been on for a little bit, man. Your boy was a little bit under the weather, man. I don't know if y'all know that, but I needed to take a few days off just to be able to recover. This around this time every year I get hit, man, just with a lot of seasonal allergies. But as you can see, man, your boy is back on. We got some amazing things lined up. Stay tuned for everything that's coming soon. Make sure that y'all like, donate, subscribe, share, do whatever. Make sure that y'all prepare yourself and y'all's family for where this market is going, man. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Generational Podcast. Be on the lookout for the next episode. And until next time, guys,